I was like, all right, I'm about to knock this day out of the waters. I'm going to do so good. First, get out of bed. That's your first battle. Get out of bed.
Battle. No, for real? Like, that's a battle, dog.
No, it is, bro.
No,
especially Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast, the In the Fire podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Back again, episode 7.
Already.
Ooh, as the episodes go up, I get more and more excited for these topics. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, or watching us on YouTube. We appreciate you guys, the support so much. It means the world to us. This episode,
we talked about it, and like, it's probably one of the episodes where we have to, take some of the wisdom that we're trying to give out as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
it's gonna be a very hypocritical episode. Yeah.
Like, again, like we don't want to let you guys or tell you guys that we're wiser or we're on a pedestal.
Right. Obviously.
Like, we have these mics, but at the same time we're growing
with you guys.
Exactly, and so we're taking these wisdom as we give it out.
Absolutely,
for sure.
This episode is about laziness.
Oh my gosh, dog!
Laziness. Oh, I'm so lazy. I'm so lazy. I've been getting better lately.
Yeah.
I've been getting so much better. I've been trying to focus on my own stuff, but wow.
Nah, it's like everything. Everybody, you can't meet one person that says, I'm not lazy.
There's no way.
Like, at one point,
maybe like, top dogs, like millionaires that are going crazy.
As soon as I said that, I thought about Shaquille O'Neal. Like, I was like, there's nobody. Hold up. That man's huge.
Bro. So lazy, bro.
Yeah, dude. I mean, just to get started, like, dude, laziness. I don't know if you guys have read the book of Proverbs, but dang,
good book. It's a good book.
Like, it's one of the books of wisdom, and like, there's so many verses about laziness. Like, it's insane. And so you think about that, right? It's like, okay, it's a book of wisdom, and and every time it talks about laziness, it's always like something bad. Like, it always has a negative connotation to it.
Obviously, yeah.
Right. So like, you have to, like, a statement that we have to say is that being lazy or laziness is foolish.
It is.
It's a foolish thing. And now I'm going to ask you, Danny, why? Why is being lazy foolish?
Because you get nothing done. We've talked about it before. We've talked about how, like, setting a legacy, all that good stuff. I think that was episode 2. But when you're lazy and you spend an extra 2 hours napping, an extra 2 hours sleeping, or you procrastinate, because procrastination is a best friends with laziness. They're best friends and they go along together.
Yes, sir.
So when you go, I got 4 days to do it. I'll do it like tomorrow. No, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it Monday. Whatever. I'll do it next week. When that happens, you end up getting nothing done. And what happens when you get nothing done?
You're not being fruitful.
Exactly.
And all those verses, like in Proverbs, like it's always sharing the characteristics, the attributes, and the results of being lazy. Yeah. Right? Like, I have a verse, like, there's going to be a lot of verses today, if I'm being honest. Right? It's Proverbs 13:4. The soul of a lazy man desires and has nothing.
The soul of
a lazy man desires and has nothing, but the soul of a diligent shall be made rich.
Ooh.
So it's like, lazy people always want what hardworking people have.
Yes.
But they will remain unsatisfied due to their idleness.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Yeah. It's like we want these things, but we don't show that we want it.
There's actually a quote. What was it? Hold on 1 second. There's this quote that was so good, and I heard it and I was like, dang, I need to say this. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. And that's exactly what you're talking about, where it's like, we want the money, we want this fame along with like all these famous people, but we don't strive for it.
Yeah.
We don't work towards it, right? So discipline is what you want now. No, discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most.
Yeah.
Right now, I want to sleep. Right now, I want to just hang out with friends or play video games and just chill. But what do I really want most? Provide for my family. Provide for myself. Set up like generational money. Fulfill my purpose. Probably like doing the podcast, doing something.
Yeah. And also, I think with that, it's like, it's always giving you always have 2 options every day, basically. It's like what that statement is saying, that every day when you wake up, you have 2 choices. You have to do what you want to do at the moment. You let your feelings like decide what you want to do, or you actually think about, you be intentional about what your actions are today.
Yeah.
Like, am I going to do something for like the future, my future self, instead of doing what I want to do now? And yes.
Sleep.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we are pretty tired. Yeah. And another verse where it just says, The desire of a sluggard kills him, for his hands refuse to labor. And with that, like I read that and I'm like laziness hurts you. Like it's a hurting thing. It will hurt you either physically or mentally. Physically due to your health, and also mentally because when you're lazy, you're getting used to living a unfruitful life.
Yeah.
And the unfruitful life, it's a life that does not produce anything.
Yeah.
You're living a life of idleness. You can't like there's nothing coming out. You're not being fruitful. Like
Right.
with the tree, you understand what a tree is based on the fruit outside of it. You know a tree is an apple tree because you see their apples on it.
Right.
And you know a person's lazy because you don't see nothing coming out of their lives.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why it says like in the Bible, like you judge a man by its fruit.
Okay.
So it's like you see an apple, okay, that's an apple tree. You see that this man is not doing anything with the, like not really being producing anything.
Wow.
That's a lazy person.
I think like the root of laziness a lot of times is this uninterest in that topic. When you're uninterested in something, you just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So like the reason I've been doing so well and improving on my laziness is because of this podcast and this passion I have towards it. But like with school stuff, bro, I have to have friends tell me, yo, did you do the homework? Like it's due tomorrow. I'm like, oh, because I've been procrastinating all week. And so like an uninterest in that topic a lot of times leads to that laziness. Right? But also like lack of like seeing progress is also a form of laziness. Like when you want to work out, right? You wake up in the morning, you're like, I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m, work out. You wake up at 5 and you're like I don't want to, and it's like I've been doing it for the last month and I don't see progress. I'm just gonna stay in bed. One day is not gonna hurt me. One day is not, but that's what discipline is. A lot of people think like when I was doing dieting, when I was a few years back, I was doing this dieting, and usually like they have this thing called cheat days.
Yeah.
Where like 6 out of the 7 days of the week, you eat whatever you want. Cheat day comes, you can have brownies, you can have ice cream, you can have anything you want because it's your cheat day. And I had this one trainer that was telling me, he's like, for you, no cheat day. I was like, what?
What?
Why not? Why not? I was like, don't worry, I'll only do one cheat day. He's like, no, because the problem with you is your discipline. And if you give yourself one cheat day, next day is going to be a cheat day too. The next day is going to be a cheat day too. Because what happens, like I remember like if one day it wasn't a cheat day, I would wake up and I would have a breakfast a little over my calories.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, I screwed up the whole day. I might as well just like eat like trash for the rest of it.
Wow.
So it's like that discipline goes so heavily along with laziness.
Yeah. And also with that eagerness too. Like I guess how he's saying, I'm not going to give you a cheat day because he doesn't want to put that in front of you. That little eagerness, the eagerness to not do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's almost like, again, the spark. It's a spark. Like giving you that cheat day is a spark. And so if he gave you that cheat day, it would have sparked a fire. And that fire would have been like burning everything, all the progress you've done just because you want to eat a donut. So it's like, it's those little things, those little, like the little choices you make every day can spark a flame. Yeah. Either for you to just crash and forget everything you're disciplined, you're working towards. Yeah. Or just doing what you want to do and not being fruitful.
I know there was this thing that I saw about laziness. It's another reason why we become lazy. A lot of times what we do is we look at the whole picture, this big, long process, and it seems so far and so long that it makes us go, like it makes us be lazy. But I saw this one video, it was like, it all starts with the first battle of the day. You win that one, all right, time for the next battle. So instead of like waking up, I was like, all right, I'm about to knock this day out of the waters. I'm going to do so good. First, get out of bed. That's your first battle. Get out of bed.
Battle. No, for real? Like, that's a battle, dog.
No, it is, bro. Especially in the winter time.
Dude.
When you're nice and cozy with your little blankets.
It gets cold in my house, dude. I wake up at like, I put the alarm for 6.
Ooh,
and
ouch.
Doesn't work. Does not work. I wake up at 8 because I'm like, oh my, dude, that's...
Nope.
That's the realest thing ever.
So, first battle. Get out of bed. That's the first one. You won that one, great. Next one. Stop looking at this whole picture because when you see that long process, it leads to laziness. Yeah. It's all about step by step. You don't know where you're going, but take the first steps. Take what you can see right now. You have taken yourself out of bed as the first step, do it. That's the first step.
Definitely. It's putting things into perspective.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's so true. I just thought about like when I'm in high school and like somebody, okay, you're gonna write a 4-page essay, and like the 4 page, you're like, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm doing that. But like you think about, okay, let me just write paragraph, another paragraph, another paragraph. Like it's always the little steps.
But me, nope. You want to procrastinate until the last minute. Now you gotta write 4 pages for real.
But for procrastinating, oh dude, I can't believe I remember this. I think it's like a core memory of me. Like there was a science fair. And as
you didn't make a project,
dog.
You didn't make a project. There's no way you made a project.
They had a science fair. I don't know why I remembered it, but like I remember they told me, okay, there's science fair at 7 today. Okay. And it was like 5. I was like, mommy, I need a poster.
Oh my! So you didn't have a project yet?
No, I didn't. I told my mom, I need a poster. I need markers, and I searched up like science fair projects easy. As like a 11-year-old, like easy science fair projects, and like I remember I did like the egg with the torch not the torch, the match in the middle of like a bottle, and so the egg goes inside, and I did it in like an hour. Jesus. Dude, procrastinating has been part of my life for so long. Yeah, and it's such a chain. Like even now I'm still struggling with that thing, man. It's like absolutely. I remember it's from my young days, and again like with that verse, like if you teach a kid in his way, and he won't forget it as he lives, as he grows. And like, as a kid, I procrastinated.
Oh yeah, so did I.
I'm gonna keep that with me, but like at the same time, I have to be intentional about breaking it, or else I'm not gonna get it.
It's so hard, dude. Yeah. It's so hard. But for people like asking, maybe like, how can I get out of this laziness? Mm-hmm. Like, what are the first steps of getting out of this laziness?
I think for that, I think I always want to tell somebody, like I tell other people I can, is that I want people to have a vision of who they want to be. Mm-hmm. Like I think that's such an important thing that I learned last year. Yeah, is to be able to think and to know what you want to become, like as a person, or maybe just other things than just yourself. Like maybe you want to grow this business or something, or you want to do this thing. Like whatever you want to do, you need to have a vision for it. Yeah. Like you need to be able to think, okay, this is how I want it to be. I want it to be like this. I want it to be like that. I want this to be red, this to be blue, whatever. Right. But if you don't have that vision, then you can't, like, what are you striving for, you know? You need to have something in front of you, like at least in your mind, right? Because like I said before, like vision is what you see with your eyes closed, not with your eyes open. Wow. A lot of times you can see it and be like discouraged instead of just looking at what your vision is and seeing what you want.
The thing is, with like, that's great advice, and I fully agree with that. But I know there's people out there that have no vision, and they're looking for it. It's not that they're not, and they are looking for it. And you know, like Christians or non-Christians, like they just don't have, like, you know, maybe they'll go to college. I don't know. They just don't have that like vision where it's like, I want to do this, and this is my purpose. Mm-hmm. So like, how do they go about that?
Yeah, that's tough.
It is tough.
It's a tough question because you're kind of asking, like, you know, how do I get my purpose? Right.
But here's what I would say. I think it goes back to what I was saying before, where it's like step by step. Mm-hmm. You're looking like at this whole thing. It's like, what's my entire purpose? Take one thing that you love to do. Take one thing that you love to do, or something that makes you passionate, something, just anything. Yeah. And start. Because laying down in bed won't help you find your purpose.
True. For sure.
Right?
Yeah. Definitely.
Or just going along with everything else is not going to find your purpose.
Definitely.
The way you find your purpose, if you're looking for it, is to start doing something. Go find a class that you want to attend. Yeah. To learn about a new skill. Learn a new skill. Learn a new something. Start a business. Start anything. Because once you start, you discover it. It's like, all right, you know what? Maybe this is not for me. Next thing. Until you find it.
Yeah. Which is, again, something that needs effort.
But laziness will never help you find your purpose.
I think it will always restrict it. Yeah. Or delay it. Because again, if you keep on laying down, you're not getting... And also with that, like, people around you can tell you, oh, this person, you're good at that. Yeah. Like, which is something that has happened to me. Like, you're, like, people have told me, oh, you're really hospitable. Okay. That's cool. And I realized, oh, that's one of my gifts. Okay. So now I can look at my other gifts and understand, because people are telling me what kind of person I am, you know? Right.
And, like, another thing, it's like... with laziness, it's like the lack of self-confidence hurts so bad. Yeah. And we've talked about it a lot on this podcast. And I think last episode was about being friends with yourself, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So when you lack this self-confidence, you don't see that talent that other people see in you, or those skills or any of that. And so you just say, like, I have no purpose. I have no skills. There's nothing I want to do.
I can't get there.
I can't get there.
Yeah.
You're not going to get there. So with that, first, watch episode 6 of In the Fire, subscribe.
I was about to say, yeah.
But watch that and just start improving on that self-confidence.
Yeah.
And then just take step by step. Step by step will get you somewhere.
Definitely.
One battle at a time, not this whole war.
Yeah. And with those steps, again, you take little steps. You as soon as you're taking that one step, you don't feel like you went anywhere.
Yeah.
Like you do something little, and again, to like the outside view, it seems something small, or you can view and say that's something small I did.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a start, Like don't be so mean to yourself about taking a step, because after you take multiple little steps, you see the big picture. You see how far you've gone.
Yeah.
And with this verse I want to share too, kind of goes with that. It says, "The sluggard does not plow in the autumn, and he will seek at harvest and have nothing." Right.
Wow.
So it's like a person who didn't plant a seed during the season. And so it comes to the harvest time where everybody's getting all their crops, and a person goes and he can't get anything. And it's like you're not prepared. Like you didn't put that seed in that soil. What are you gonna expect?
Nothing.
Right now is the time to put that seed in.
Yeah.
You can't, if you're not putting that seed in now, you can't put it in later. And also with that, right? During those biblical times, 2,000 years ago, when that was happening, it's like everybody's getting their harvest. Everybody that is getting the plants that they put in the soil. They're harvesting all the crops, and you're that one guy that didn't put the seed in the soil. Yeah. And so you're seeing like everybody being so happy and so joyful. Like, oh my gosh, they're all getting their crops. They're all getting crops. And like you look at yourself, and I'm like, I got nothing.
Dang.
And
that made me sad, bro.
And the thing is with that is like, a lot of people don't care about laziness until it's time to harvest.
Wow.
A lot of people do not care about being lazy until they see outward stuff.
Wow.
Until they see their friends.
I felt that, dude. Yeah. That's insane. Because it's like, right now it doesn't seem like a big deal. It's like, bro, it's a quick hour nap. It's a quick whatever. Like, now is the time to be lazy. It's my age. Like I'm in college. I got a lot of stuff to do. I'll just go to bed. And then when the time comes, when you see everybody else that was not lazy, mad successful with all this stuff, and you're like, dang, I wish I had that. How come I don't have that? That's not fair.
Yeah.
Maybe it is fair.
It is fair, yeah. Because you didn't plant the seed.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's crazy because, and then like you see your friends or your family members and they're like, oh wow, they're getting rewarded for their hard work. And you see that and you're not getting rewarded for it because you didn't do anything.
I've got a verse for that one too. For what you just said. 2 Thessalonians 3:10, the one who is unwilling to work shall not eat.
It seems so simple, but it's like,
yeah, when I read that, I was like, dang. Because it's like, oh, why doesn't God provide for me? Why doesn't God give me, like, you just want it easy. You just want God to hand it to you.
You want to put on a silver platter, nice arroz con pollo. Like, you don't want to do anything.
Why isn't God blessing me with all these things that I want? Maybe because you're not working towards it.
Wow.
And in the Bible, it says we have to be active co-creators with God.
That's
active
awesome.
Co-creators. We're not going to just sit around and wait for God to hand us these things.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Definitely.
We need to work towards it.
Yeah.
Step by step. Overcoming laziness. Overcoming that procrastination and doing it now.
You have to be able to ask yourself, like, how much of the kingdom can I bring onto earth?
Wow.
And the thing is, like, you being lazy, how are you going to bring the kingdom? Like, you sleeping, you think God's like, he's walking in purpose right now.
Yeah.
No, like,
not.
you need to ask yourself, how much do I want to bring? How much blessing do I want to give to people?
Yeah.
But you're not going to find that with just laying down.
No.
You need to, like what you said, get out and allow God to work through you.
I also have a disclaimer. I think it's also very, like, apart from all this wisdom and this, like, spiritual side, it's really important that we're checking our mental health and, like, our bodies. Because that leads to depression. Depression, but also laziness and all that stuff, right? If you're not eating right, if you're not sleeping right, if you're not getting enough sleep,
you can't be saying,
where are you getting this energy from? You can't. And in the Bible, and I've always been taught this, is our bodies are temples for God.
Of course.
And if we're not taking care of our body, then, like, we're not walking in purpose.
Yeah, definitely. That's so true. We can overlook those things and say, why am I always so tired?
Yeah.
Why am I always so unmotivated? It's because you're eating ramen for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and sleeping 3 hours.
Sometimes ramen be busted.
No, ramen's good, but like, you know, it shouldn't be your main course
No,
all the
definitely
time.
not, definitely
No,
not.
that's so true. You need to watch that always.
Yeah.
I think everybody's gonna get to a point where they have to, you know, start maybe cooking for themselves and being an adult or whatever.
Dude, I'm too lazy to cook for myself.
Yo, you gotta watch this episode that we're recording right now. Yeah, but with like also, you know, what we talking about, having people around us that are having that reward, that can discourage you sometimes, right? Because you can be that person with no crops, and you're like, man, this sucks, man. Or you could be like, you know what? I want to have crops. Yeah. I'm gonna plant during the in season. I'm gonna do the work that I can do in season to get the reward out of season.
Wow. Yeah.
But again, that's with you not letting that discourage you. Like if you're doing good, Danny, as my friend, am I gonna be discouraged or like because you might have something I might not have, or I'm gonna be encouraged to be like, yo, I want to do things because I have somebody that's showing that fruit.
Yeah.
A person that's being fruitful in my vicinity is being fruitful, and I want to be fruitful as well.
And that goes along with what we've talked about before, always surrounding yourself with good people.
Yeah.
If you're surrounding yourself with lazy bums, like you're all going to be lazy bums together.
Sorry, but yo, lazy bum, really? That was mean.
Nah, but it's true. You
just said, yo, everybody that does nothing with their life, that's just okay. Whatever.
That's not what I said, but it's true. You have to be careful with that.
Yeah, and also make sure you know who's around you. Yeah. Definitely. But yeah, again, with that, as I was saying, with the people that are around you that have like that are having those rewards, right? Yeah. What's it called? It's like I said before, it's good for you to have people that can motivate you and not discourage you. But if you want them to motivate you, there can be a barrier there.
Okay.
And I say that because there's a verse that says, lazy people consider themselves smarter than 7 wise counsels or wise counselors.
How is that possible?
Because lazy people have pride. And so I'm saying that because there's a barrier that could be, there could be a barrier of pride in your heart. Yeah. Saying like I said before, I'm fine. I don't need help. I know what I'm doing. What I'm doing is good enough. Like you need to break those barriers of pride. Pride, like you cannot allow pride to have a place in your heart when it comes to this. Because if you have that pride, it's gonna have a barrier there.
It's crazy because we were just talking about the opposite of that. We were just talking about lack of self-confidence, and now we're talking about pride.
Yeah,
so
it's like no matter where you are on the spectrum, like you have, it's like again, like I said before, there has to be a middle lining.
Yeah,
and that middle lining is humility. Is like allowing, like having confidence in yourself while allowing people to help you when you need it. Yeah. Not saying I know everything and that I don't need help. Wow. But saying I do need help a lot. I need to be edified. I need to be like molded. And
don't look at me like that.
Because again, look, there's a verse that says, "Pride leads to conflict, but those who take advice are wise." Yeah. So again, pride. That's gonna like if you say to somebody, "Yo, I don't think what you're doing is fruitful, man. You're not like I need you. I want you to be better." And the guy's like, shut up! Don't talk to me like that. I know what I'm doing. It leads to conflict. But a guy, if you tell it to a person, they're like, "All right, man. I think you're right. I should probably start doing better." That humility will allow you to move forward. Even if it's a baby step, you're still going forward instead of letting pride take you break you down.
Yeah. There's also one thing I wanted to say about that. It's like a lot of times evil, let's say like the devil, whatever it is, just doesn't want you to fulfill your purpose. So what they do is they want you to be lazy. They want you to stay in bed that extra hour. Why? Because you're thinking less. Why? Because you're chasing your purpose less. And when you're doing that, that's like, what are you doing, right? Yeah. So like the more that you're lazy, the more you're pleasing evil. Wow. So it's like, are you going to let them win? Or you want to get up and, fight for yourself, fight for your purpose? So like basically what you're saying is that laziness is it's like restriction. Laziness is like secretly like taking you away from what you have to do. Yep. It's the one barrier. Yeah. And it's crazy because everybody has it. Come on, everybody has to have it. Like, it's that one thing that when you get past it, then you're fruitful. Then you're producing. Then you're having that harvest. Yeah. And like, I want to ask everybody, do you want to be part of the harvest? Yes or not? Yes, bro.
Do you want to be part of the harvest?
Yes.
If you want to be part of the harvest, you gotta do something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I want everybody here, like, when it's harvest time, when we're all, like, when everybody's listening, with your friends that you want to help, like, help them.
There's definitely somebody watching going, nah, bro, I don't want to.
Then you need,
I'll be praying for you.
Yeah, exactly. We're praying for all you guys. But no, do you want to be part of the harvest? Like, ask yourself that every day. Like, I want to be part of the harvest. I want to show my reward. I want to show my production after all this time I've had, in season and out of season. Again, that season of planting is it's a season of planting for a reason. You have to plant in that season, and then there's a season of harvesting. But you can't harvest where you don't plant.
Wow.
So, whatever season you're in your life, like, start planting. If you're planting, plant. If you're harvesting, harvest it. It's all good. But your life is always going to be in seasons.
Yeah.
So ask yourself, like, what's the season right now? What's the vision for my life? How is laziness restricting me?
Wow.
And then you can start seeing that harvest. And then you can start getting that. Like, I have another verse. Also, just like, okay, no, before I even go into that, with having friends, right? There's a verse that says, open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. I just love that. Like, if you say something to me like, yo, you're lazy, and it hurts me, it's better than you not saying anything. Even like, if you're scared to help me because I might, like, lash out at you, that's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
You can't do that. You need to be, that's why I say humility will always bring forth wisdom. Yeah. That's why humility is always what's the word? Elevated in the Bible, because humility is what brings. So you're breaking down those barriers, and I'm gonna use an old analogy, and you're turning into clay. And whoever the person is around you, whether it's your friend or a family member, and that you trust and that they're good role models.
Yep.
Then you will get that edifying, right? That, like, those barriers will be breaking, and then you will be.
That's actually wisdom that I need to take from you, because I've had somebody say that to me where they were like, "Yo, like, I feel like I can't come to you when I'm upset because you might lash out at me, like, upset at me, and I might get upset, and it's like, wow, that hurt me because it was like, wow, is that true?" So it's like, I don't know. I felt I needed to work on that, but I'll definitely be taking that.
Definitely, again, because
it's about a learning process. We're all here to learn from each other. No, definitely.
And I say this, and I'm like, right now, I'm probably not showing the Lord that I want to be part of the harvest, but I know that eventually I'm gonna get through with baby steps. Yeah. Like, we're both growing. And again, with that verse I wanted to say earlier, there's a verse that says, "How long will you lie there, O sluggard? When will you get up from your sleep? A little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief and scarce you like an armed man." And, like, as I was reading that, I realized that a lot of times in my life, like, I knew I was being lazy. And in that time, I was like, to myself, I was saying, how long am I going to, like, delay my purpose?
Wow.
Because I recognize when I'm being lazy. I do recognize it.
Oh, yeah. I think we all do.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, every time it happens with me, I'm, like, saying, okay, how long am I going to be in this? Yeah. Like, how long am I not going to be fruitful? And it's saying, like, it's saying a little bit of sleep, a little bit of slumber, and then it will come upon you. So basically what it's saying is that there's going to be a consequence for your laziness if you don't stop. If you keep on being lazy, something's going to happen. Like, there's going to be consequences for your laziness.
There always be, yeah.
And so, like, how long are you going to stay in that period, right? Some people listening might not be in there. Some might be. And the thing is, how long are you going to stay in there? Yeah. Because, again, it says it's going to come on you like a thief. A thief doesn't tell you I'm coming. The thief just comes and takes. So it's like, I thought it was an amazing verse. Like, just a little bit, like you say, just a little bit. I'm gonna stop doing this thing that I do every day to grow, just for one day, just because I'm a little tired today, and then it starts to go in 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, and then you're not doing it anymore. Wow. So it's like a little bit. You can't even let that little bit come through. That little bit would, again, it's a spark.
I'm not gonna lie, I've learned so much today from you on this podcast. I feel like a viewer just watching you and, like, speaking. It's like, dang.
I mean, true. I'm just glad, like, again, I still gotta take this information too, you know. Like, I spit it out, but I need to regurgitate. I need to, like, bring it back into me, you know. Like, I need to take this stuff too, because it's hard. Yeah. It's, again, wisdom. Like I said, wisdom is knowing it. Like, anybody can know this, right? Somebody can learn about discipline and laziness and tell you everything there is to know about it. But if that man does not do it himself, that's not wise. That's not a wise person, right? And there's another verse, Ephesians 5:17, the last one. "Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil.
The most of every day. Yeah.
Because the days are evil. These days pass by. They fly by.
And time is so valuable.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it.
Like, I'm going to ask, like, how are you sowing the seed of time?
Whoa.
Yeah. How are you sowing that seed of time?
Yeah.
Because if you're able to be trusted with the time you have now, then you'll get more responsibility, right?
There's been times where I'll be playing video games and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. What am I doing?
Time is valuable. And if we don't look at it as valuable, then we're not going to do anything productive.
Right.
So that's why it says make the most out of all the time that we have now, wherever you are, like at life, no matter how much time you have right now, like you see how much you can use that time. And because you're not busy all the time.
Definitely not.
Like,
you can make time.
Like, I can say people make time for the things they like to do. No matter, like, I don't know what you're doing, but people make time for the things they do that they like to do. So if you make time for that one thing, that one goal, you'll get there for sure.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah.
Before we wrap up, do you have anything, like any story that shows like just incredible laziness from you?
Incredible laziness?
I have one, and I told my best friend before I came in.
Oh, man.
It was so funny.
I don't know. Like, lazy my whole life.
During my high school years, I would sit in the shower.
Wow.
It was early in the It was early in the morning. I would wake up, I would go to the shower, and I would just be there, and I'd be like, I don't want to do this. And then I would just sit. I would just sit and just let the water hit me.
Dude, it sounds like an old music video. The old sad
it was
music
just
video.
Incredible laziness. I just like sat down and I was like, I was so lazy.
I don't have anything. Everything I did was like, I can remember I stuffed papers in my backpack without a folder.
Oh yeah.
That's like my common thing. I like whoosh, go to do the homework. It's all
and then
crinkled.
you open your backpack, it's just filled with papers.
Now it's all crinkled.
Did you do the homework? Starts digging out all the papers.
Bro. It's like, and I remember my mom was always like, give your papers nicely. Like, give it nice. And every time I give my paper back, it was always crinkled. Like, I was mad ghetto.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. We appreciate it. It was a good one. I took wisdom from it. I hope you guys took wisdom from it.
And please apply that wisdom again.
For sure.
What's that one? Oh my, so many verses today, dude. It's like a man who reads the word and does not do it is like a man who looks in the mirror and goes away and forgets what he looks like.
Dang.
So don't look in the mirror and then go away and then forget what you look like.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribing, commenting, hitting that like button, hitting the freaking notification bell, hit all of that stuff. It shows us so much support and it makes us feel motivated to keep going and take that laziness away from us.
Yes,
Make
sir.
sure you guys are watching us, listening on Spotify and iTunes. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys for the next episode.
Peace.